All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole fact of Israel. And as you can see, the title of this article, more than 100,000 Californians have bought a gun in response to COVID-19 crisis, reports find. As you can see right below, nearly half of the buyers were first-time gun owners, sparking fears about the risk of suicide and accidental injuries. All right, so pretty much a recipe for disaster. All right, because we're going into the times we're in. This is not a time of peace. Sheesh. We're not in a time of peace. All right, and going into measuring the times. Okay, measuring times according to prophecy. This is prophesied, all right, in the Holy Scriptures, all right, which is the word of Yahweh to happen in these last days concerning the fate of so-called America. All right, this place is getting ready to be burnt up with thermonuclear missiles. And going to those series events leading up to that seventh trumpet being blown again, these thermonuclear missiles, there's gonna be a lot of hell on this earth, all right, especially here in so-called America, all right, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, all right, again, corner prophecy. But here, I'll get some real quick to get started on the lesson. Going to this place is divided, okay, because again, there's a time for everything under the sun, okay, going to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, you know, a time to kill, you know, a time to be born, time, you know, time to die, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. Okay, that's the time we're in now for so-called America. All right, we're in a time of not embracing. Okay, because again, we're in a time of war. Okay, time of hell. All right, tribulation. Okay, ultimately the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, but here, oh wait, no, not this yet. Isaiah 19, verse 2. Isaiah 19 verse 2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Okay, so modern day Egypt would be so-called America. All right, to prove that really quick, Revelation 11 and verse 8. Revelation 11 and verse 8, and their dead bodies going into, all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt. All right, it's basically spiritually Sodom in Egypt. Okay, Sodom was known for what? Being given up to vile affections, okay, which you'll call homosexuality today. All right, and Egypt was known as the land of our great captivity, all right, land of our bondage. All right, going again to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, so those dead bodies going to us, okay, because you know, going into us falling away from our understanding, us falling away from our heritage, Jeremiah 17:4. All right, so us being dead, going into the valley of dry bones, Ezekiel 37 chapter. All right, that's us. All right, and then you read on down, it says where we're going to come. We're going to pretty much be woken back up. All right. Going to the spirit of Most High enter into us. But going back to verse 19. I mean, not verse 9. Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right, because going into the division of so-called America, all right, even between your own cities, you cannot have agreement, okay? And states are not agreeing with states. You know, political parties aren't agreeing with political parties, okay? You have the South versus the North, the East versus the West, all right? There's no unity in so-called America, all right? Because, again, this is what has been prophesied to happen, all right? And knowing that this place is divided, what's next to come, this place is going to fall, all right? So the Egyptians, the modern day Egyptians being Americans, they're divided and they're getting ready to fight against each other. That's why they're buying guns and doomsday prepping, okay? Because this is all prophecy, all right? And this is real. This stuff is real. This prophecy is real, okay? It's happening, all right? That's why we can go into these into the prophecies and show you that they line up with time, okay? The time we're in now being these last days, okay? The stuff is alive, man. The stuff is living. All right, because these are the words of Yahweh. Luke 11 and verse 17. But he, knowing their thoughts, that he talking about Yahweh, but he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. It says every kingdom. Okay, that's why we felt going to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. We split going to the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right, Rehoboam and Jeroboam. We fell because we were divided. All right. So every house, so it says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. Okay, so that's what's happening. This place is falling. All right, okay, there's no agreement, there's no unity. They can't walk amongst each other because they're not agreed. All right, you can't even agree with your next door neighbor. You can't even, a lot of people agree with your own children. Okay, because again, this is prophesied that the Lord is going to do this. All right. Father against the father against the son. All right. Because you believe in this and they believe in that. Okay. So that's why there's going to be a lot of tension, because that's what's building up, tension. All right. It's going to pop. Okay. Very soon. Okay. At the point in time of YAHAWASHI SHAM. I don't want this yet. What I want. I could have stayed in Luke. Luke. And I'll probably peep the article a little bit, but pretty much the title article just poked my eye, and Spirit helped me to do this lesson. This is Luke chapter 12, and if it seems rhetorical to you, you're not watching, okay? Because people say, oh, you keep doing the same lessons over and over again. What do you want us to talk about? Okay, we're here to prophesy to you, okay? And the time's coming, we're not going to be able to be found no more, going to the family of the word. So this is Luke chapter 12 and I'll start at verse 51. Suppose ye that I had come to give peace on earth. All right, this is Yahawashi speak. That's why it's in red. I tell you, nay, but rather division. The Lord is setting up and dividing up the people. Okay. All right. Here's verse 52. From henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. All right. The Lord, he uses numbers. Okay. He's the ultimate mathematician. Okay. So he has a formula, like they say, method to the madness. Okay. There's a reason why this is happening. All right, because ultimately the Lord is getting ready to set up his kingdom on the planet Earth. His kingdom is getting ready to be taken out. This is Luke 12 and 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her father-in-law. All right, that's what's happening. That's why people are buying guns. They don't feel safe. All right, they don't feel protected, and they have no hedge. All right, and they're carnal. Okay. And a lot of these people are not going to make it, okay? And we can look into these numbers, all right? So you can get a real idea what's happening, all right? This verse 54, and he said also to the people, when ye see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh the shower. All right, it's a perfect example today. I looked at the clouds, I seen, hey, it's getting ready to rain. So what? I went inside my car, okay? And that's what a lot of people know. Hey, it's getting ready to rain. Let me go inside. Okay, let me get covered. Let me get an umbrella. Okay, you prepare yourself for when it's about to rain. But you people are not preparing yourself for the time that we're getting ready to enter into. All right. So Luke 12 and 54. And he said unto the people, when ye see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway you say, there cometh a shower. And so it is. Verse 55. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Verse 56, ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? Okay, how do people do not discern this time? Okay, this is all going to prophecy. Okay, here, look at these numbers. Found that 110,000 people in California, I'm reading, can't zoom in, but right here, in California, purchased a firearm in direct response to the coronavirus. Okay, not because of food shortages yet, not because of another form of pestilence, not because of going to the plagues. Okay, you have the sword. Okay, it ain't no all-out shootouts, wild west yet. Okay, it's so to say they're going into the calm before the storm. But people are preparing because going to the Lord, putting his spirit upon all flesh. They know that something is up. All right, but they're running to a covering that's not of YAHAWASHI SHAM. That's where they're going to be destroyed. All right. It says about 47,000 of the buyers were first-time gun owners. So these people are the first time they're putting a gun in their hand. All right. So they might end up shooting themselves, shoot somebody on accident. All right. And they're not being they're not being mentally trained to handle these weapons. So the first sign of trouble, they're gonna start blasting everybody. And once they're gonna trigger a shootout. Okay. All right. Because I'll probably get 2nd Esdras 15th chapter going into the sword and their destruction draw off 9. All right, they're buying swords for a reason. Okay, there's not anarchy yet in the street. What's happening is people are losing hope. All right, and they don't feel protected. The government. That's why I go into sedition, which I can get that because I'm stuck in the car anyways. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and what was it, 15? And I'll start at 14. Yeah, 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Why? Because Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, swords in their hands. So let's get a picture. What are they buying? They're buying swords. All right, they're buying modern day swords, which are guns. All right. So they're getting ready to fight against each other. All right. It's verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and of course their actions shall stand in their power. So that's why they're grabbing guns. All right. They're grabbing survival kits. Okay. They're buying underground bunkers. All right. And they're not going to care about mayors. They're not going to care about Julio Jones and LeBron James. Okay. So they're going to be invading one another. Why? Because there's going to be a lack of bread. All right. Oh man. This verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because it's going to be martial law. All right. These Army Reserve troops that are sitting around collecting paychecks, Esau going to assign them to a truck in a station, and they're going to be patrolling the streets. Okay. And it might be a neighborhood they grew up in. All right. And they're going to get strict orders to shoot at will anybody that disobeys curfew. All right, and especially going to when they start forcing the chip on people, they might not let you in the homes, all right, because you don't have your chip or you haven't been vaccinated. They're going to send you to a concentration camp, all right? Let me try to speak up because the freaking rain is loud, all right? But that's spiritualized raining, all right? Everything's all spiritual. And there you go, it's calming down. Anyways, slackers, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. All this pride, okay? Ain't no COVID, ain't no, we're COVID proof and all this stuff. Okay, you're not YAHAWASHI prophecy proof. All right, people are getting ready to be taken out if you're not covered or read in the book of life. All right, 2 Kings 15 and verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Men shall be afraid. So how much more women? The women are going to be absolutely hopeless. All right, there's not going to be no Angelina Jolie salt, double agents out here. Okay, majority of women don't even know how to flip pancakes. Okay. So these are times we're coming into, all right? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall no pity upon his neighbor. So he don't care, all right? He don't care about who you are. He's going to what? Try to feed himself and his family, all right? But shall destroy their houses with the sword, with the gun, and spoil their goods. So these people are fulfilling prophecy, all right? These people are going to fulfill prophecy. You're going to have, everybody having a gun, all right? Your frail auntie, now she got a gun, okay? She can't even open the door. Slakia. 2 Kings 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So that's why. Okay, we could just talk about a friend cannot be known in prosperity. Okay, when your team is undefeated, you got Bucks fans, you got who's undefeated, whoever's undefeated. I don't even watch football. Everything's all good when you're winning. All right, but everybody's getting ready to take the major L's, and people are going to choose their sides. All right. And a lot of you people are, like the scripture say, the enemy shall be they of your own household. Okay, people that you're closest to. All right. But scriptures talk about ye that are troubled rest with us. Okay, the safe place is ultimately the word of YAHAWASHI. All right, secret place. But let me wrap up. All right, because Lord's will we gonna get beaten up out of all this madness. Okay, it's getting ready to be straight madness on this earth. All right. Matthew 24, and that's a good way to end out. It's Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, so iniquity, okay, going into transgression, okay, a lot of murder, okay, a lot of theft, a lot of adultery, okay, a lot of deception, okay, a lot of bearing false witness, a lot of iniquity, okay, is going to abound. You're going to see it all over the place. It's going to be like the purge, all right? It's going to be cold-blooded out here, okay? Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So that's what the time we're in, man. Okay, this is the time of, I was watching the elder brother's video. I forgot, this is the time of great betrayal. Okay, because a lot of us, our own families are going to turn us in. Okay, try to gainsay us. All right, try to get a buck out of us because what? They're hungry. Okay, because ultimately they're demons. Okay, but here, this is verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So you have going to endure unto the end, because he's, and I don't know. I'm not going to say this guy's not going to make it, that guy's not, I don't know. Okay, at least they repent and Yahweh shall have mercy on them. All right, but, the point is we have to make it to the end, okay? And the only way you're gonna make it to the end is if you get beamed up, because if you're here in America, all right, this place is gonna be left a desolate wilderness, all right? So the only way you can be saved is if you get beamed up, okay? And the only people that are gonna get beamed up is the Lord's elect. And that's what we're laboring and hoping and praying that we be a part of, because we want to be found worthy to escape these things, okay? You know, but enduring to the end. It's not like to say, it's not to the swift, okay? It's not to the strong, all right? But ultimately goes into time and chance and really predestination. All right, verse 14, I'll close out. In this gospel, the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, a witness against you. Because why? Because light is coming to the world, and men have loved darkness rather than light. That's the condemnation, all right? So what's going to happen? And then shall the end come. So that's where we are. We're in the end, okay? This is pretty much a current event lesson, you know, all through the spirit power YAHAWASHI. As you know, again, going to measuring time diligently. You know, we know this stuff is nigh at the doors. Things are speeding up, and you know, we got to get our act together, okay? Get our, you know, they say get your ducks in order, okay? Because YAHAWASHI is getting ready to return, all right, in a major way, and we want to pray that we be all right and straight in that favor in his eyes. So with that, Lord's will be edifying. As always, want to give our praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. Shalom.